Hi, James Jones from the Mid-Pacific ICT Center in San Francisco with Nic Xenos of Juniper Networks.
Hi there.
Hi, Nick. Thanks for being here again. It's our
Great
winter
pleasure.
conference, 2013. So remind everybody about Juniper Networks. What do you guys do?
Well, Juniper Networks is a leader in the networking industry. We do routers and switches, systems, and software that optimizes that for different large, medium, and small environments. So if one was going to do sort of a comparison, you might have a Hertz and an Avis, you've got a Cisco and a Juniper. Cisco is much larger than we are, but I have to answer this question a lot. Despite the fact that about 80% of the internet traffic runs across the Juniper network somewhere. But we continue to grow our presence, and it's really exciting. It's an exciting time to be in this company.
Juniper's got some fabulous technology. I know you've been big in the service provider space for a long time. You're advancing in the enterprise space significantly now, and you've apparently recognized the need for a workforce to implement your technologies out there in the real world. And your role, I guess, is in helping academic and other organizations develop that workforce.
That's correct. So we have recognized this for a while now. It just is becoming more and more important as our market share grows and our influence in various industries grow. We have a robust certification program that these programs lead into, and from the kind of our commercial training side, which is our authorized education partners, we also have the academic alliance side, which is my department, and we offer all of those resources that would go through our commercial channel to academia, our partners in the academic alliance, and for really no cost at all, colleges and universities and other learning institutions can participate with us in partnership to provide the students a better learning experience and a more rewarding career because they have a broader option in what they can pursue.
And that's a worldwide effort now.
It is, yeah. We have over 100 academic alliance partners now, and that spans from Australia through China, Asia, all over Europe, and we've opened up Africa, Latin America, and in the U.S. and Canada.
So someone who wanted to engage in that, they would find curriculum and other content that helps prepare students for your certifications. What else might they encounter?
So it's interesting because our program is designed to be extremely flexible. Really, it's about the student. And if you think of what a student might need, they may not need to be certified necessarily, although that is a benchmark in achieving certain academic goals, if you will, or achievement in a certain technology. And you could see that in sort of the digital badging and some of these other things that are coming out. So I think there's a validity in certification, certainly, but being exposed to different technologies is extremely important. And particularly now where you don't have a homogeneous kind of a network, it really is a hodgepodge of all sorts of different vendors, depending on who bought what when. Students really need to have the most broad opportunity to understand how these things interact and to be able to configure, administer, and troubleshoot all of that. So I believe that the Juniper offering through Junos is an extremely powerful tool for any network. From the single operating system that we have across all of our platforms, from the very smallest ones to the big iron that we use in the service provider arena. It's also programmable, and as you know, the idea of the software definable networks is a buzzword that's been coming around recently. We've been doing that for years, so you can actually change the profile of a router or a switch that's running Junos to do something very specific to benefit that campus or for that environment that it's in. So that allows for cross-discipline academic opportunities where you have programmers being able to program something that will be aware of the network and be aware of the way they would like that particular environment to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's super exciting, I think.
So networking and security, which are probably your primary domains, are hugely important today. You know, they're the enterprise networks, the LANs, the things that tie devices together within a building. And then there's the network of networks, the internet, telecommunications. All of that involves the technologies that you're all about. And you have particular flavors of that technology, and those flavors are out there in the real world, working with other flavors in the real world. So it's not enough for any student to know any one thing. They need to be able to work with whatever they're going to encounter out there.
Yeah.
And your organization is really good at that. I know you've got an offering, Junos as a second language.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
That's actually very exciting. That's something that we've just recently enabled for our Academic Alliance members. It presumes that the students that would come in with a certain background in networking. So this particular flavor of Junos as a second language, because we have several versions of it, presumes that students would come in with a Cisco background. And of course, Cisco is very big, and they're out there, and they're doing a great job at what they do. It takes that knowledge that they would have, that understanding of command line interfaces and so on and so forth, and gives an equivalent in the Junos environment. Mm-hmm. And of course, at that point, we then extend to some of the unique and more interesting capabilities that Junos has, as well as just doing sort of a one-in-one comparison between the two. But I think it's a great way to extend sort of a basic, perhaps a CCNA track or one of those technology tracks, to add some advanced technology and enrich the student's life with an additional offering there.
So today, it's of course not enough just to read a textbook, you know, and be able to pass a paper test. You got to actually get dirty. You got to work with this stuff. And you've come up with a way of giving access to that, the Junisphere.
Yes.
Describe that.
Yeah. So this again is, and I guess I should backtrack a little bit, because Juniper enjoys disruptive technologies. We like to look at a problem and as a company culture, solve it in a new and interesting way. And
Cage rattlers.
Many examples of that where industry has taken on some of the developments that we've had. And that's because, not to digress hugely, but we do invest a significant amount of our annual revenues in research and development, and you can see those changes as the company has progressed through the years. Junisphere is one of those things, and it's really fun because it's a game changer again. And in this case, we have our virtual environment, which means that you're actually running the operating system on a hypervisor. And so we currently have that offered in a cloud environment called Junisphere. And you can have anywhere from 1 to 5 to 10 to 100 to 500 routers, perhaps, or more, that would live in a topology that's either pre-configured or configured as required by the individual who's using that for a training experience, a modeling experience, or something like that. So that's really, really fun because it takes away the barrier to entry for hardware and any of those issues that have been traditionally plaguing hardware-centric kind of training opportunities. So that's one, and that's available right now. And then, of course, we have the other one, which is a version of that sits on VMware. And I think that that is going to be a huge boon to our community college friends who already have VMware in their environment and would like to extend the virtual routing environment for their students without investing in a lot of hardware.
And this is not simulation.
Not at all. No, this is the actual code, the operating system running in that particular environment. So there are some great examples of simulators out there, but of course there are limitations to what you can do with that. In this case, you're not stuck in a scripted environment that leads to certain learning outcomes, but rather you can use pre-configured ones that if it's helpful, or alternatively define your own. And a great example of that, and possibly the largest one of these that we've done academically so far, is Queen Mary University of London, where we had 250 routers in the virtual environment running simultaneously in a large topology that they were using for one of their networking classes.
Wow.
So that's, I mean, that's huge from an academic topology in the networking arena.
So I guess you can do all kinds of things with that. You can build a global network.
You certainly could. And in fact, you could extend that to have because it interlinks transparently with physical equipment, you could actually take that environment and link it to a lab that you have on your campus, or alternatively, even be more creative and have a virtual environment that links to a physical environment, that links to the internet, that links to another virtual environment or a physical environment. So you can have collaborative kinds of large topologies and network activities going on. So it's a tremendous tool from a learning point of view, I think.
Yeah, you geeks out there, I hope you're hearing this, because this is really cool.
It's fun. It's fun.
Great. So anything else that is new from Juniper that you want to share with people?
Well, just to say that we are very excited at the kinds of offerings that we provide through our Academic Alliance. I think it's a great time, as you presented in your presentation regarding the opportunities in the ICT arena, and certainly networking is no small part of that. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage all students to go towards certification and multiple certifications. Learn how vendors interoperate, how the equipment and the technology goes together, because quite frankly, that's what you're going to be facing out there. And the better you know that, and the more you know, the more successful you're going to be.
So there's good jobs out there right now in this networking domain. The salaries are up this year over last. The demand is only going to go up. So get some skills, get some knowledge, get a job. And so for teachers, faculty, programs that are interested in engaging with Juniper, how do they do that?
Yeah. Well, we have, actually we have the easiest ways to send an email to Academic Alliance at juniper.net. That's an easy way. On our website also, if you go under Education, there's Academic Alliance, and that can initiate all of that. Or you can contact me directly, which is Nic Xenos, N-X-E-N-O-S, at juniper.net, and I'd be happy to forward some information. And just when you were saying something, I just thought, we've also, this last year, we initiated some internship programs that are more significant than the ones we've had in the past, as well as some graduate hire programs. So, all of these things as we go into the enterprise show that there are plenty of opportunities for students to engage directly with us as well as with our partners and customers.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thanks for sharing.
Great pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for doing the great things you do. MPICT is a wonderful organization, and we're really happy to be participating.
Thank you.